have to.
No, I realise.
They need to sync up. They need to know.
You're good at clapping.
I said they. I mean our future set. Well, when we're editing, you don't do anything.
I don't do anything.
When I'm syncing up the sound, I need to know. And we are producing this, all of it.
I'll sort of say
ourselves.
When I think there's a bit funny, and I'll be like, "You should do a cut there," and he'll be like, "What do you even?" Okay, I agree with you, but like the intricate.
Don't just say cut there.
I'd be like, yeah, that's so sort of fade in there and then cut out, and then we'll move to a hard cut. I say hard cut to everything.
I don't know what that means.
No one does. I know what it is in my head. I know what.
What does it mean?
Like
a final cut.
Like and then you just like, it's almost like abrasively into the next bit. It doesn't matter because I guide you through it. You do all the ticky tacky.
It's technology, innit? You do the electronic bit. I do the.
What's the electronic bit?
I just make the gags.
I don't even do the electronic bit.
Silent. To start. You do, yeah. No, you do. Electrics.
Oh, isn't putting the lights up?
Yeah.
I believe this doesn't just happen.
Yeah.
This takes. Is there something? Oh no! I thought there was.
So yeah. Podcasting / YouTube channeling. Yeah, I mean, talking in a room.
Just don't pigeonhole us. Don't say which one is it.
I'm gonna pigeonhole us right now because I've said this before. The only reason that we're doing this is because you refuse to fund a TV show, and it's done. It's ready to go. We've written the script. It's ready to go, and you point blank refuse to do it. So what we are doing, right? The reason we're doing this is purely for money. Yeah, I need this money. I mean, despite all this opulence, right? Don't let that fool you. I need that cash. I need that bread. Yeah. And so no, I want to be clear about that now because what I don't want is people coming up to me and be like, "Oh, Harvey, you've sold out." No. That's the intention. That's the intention. That's the reason for all of this.
Actually, I'm laughing, but he's right. That is it.
Yeah.
Like what happened was we conquered the TV world.
Right? Finished, completed it.
And I was like, we stumbled across this sort of dying, burning amber of an industry called podcasting and the YouTubing.
It was on its way out at that point.
And I just thought, we tried sort of writing intricate three-dimensional characters which offsets comedy with integrity and a heartfelt story perfectly balanced throughout, and no one was interested.
Sure. No one watches a
TV
show with three-dimensional characters, or even two
chatting away in a room,
opposing narratives,
just for half an hour a week about essentially nothing. That is a better way of cracking the industry than actually having any sort of, not talent, but like writing ability or anything like that. So.
That's it. And I will take another moment just to address our very loyal core audience members. This is for you three. It is. Because
this is why we do this.
You don't know, right, whether or not we're in character right now. We may have written all this. This may be us. We may have written all this as a narrative, and you won't know. You may never know. We might not know, because I'm constantly operating on a metaphysical level, unbeknownst to myself. A lot of the time.
You know what's funny? This is actually very similar to how we do write.
This is exactly how we write.
This is exactly how we write.
We just sit in a room, sometimes on camera, and chat nonsense.
I think again we've sort of, in terms of the traditional
structure,
timing of what an introduction would be, I think we've again really taken the piss with it. So I would say when you're editing. Over the next sort of 5 to 8 seconds, just sort of whack in a bit of an intro theme.
This is the intro.
Cut it out, and then we'll move on to the next bit.
This is the intro. I think what would be useful...
It's better to give a pause.
Okay, wait, let me say it again. All right, okay. This is the end of the intro segment. moving on to the next segment.
Excellent.
The next segment, I think, and I was thinking about this yesterday, because I assumed that the people that
don't
watching
assume makes
this,
an arse out of you and me.
well, there you are. That's actually I'd assume that, and again, don't assume. We've learned that lesson. I've assumed that the people watching this are going to be people that just are mates, which is probably the truth, right? But on the off chance that some of you watching this video,
on the million to one shot that
the
you
million
don't
to
know
one
us,
shot,
or have even been in this apartment.
Yeah.
The odds are, if you're watching this, you have physically been in this apartment.
You've been here, yeah. You've had a few beers.
Sorry, I interrupted. You've let yourself down.
Obviously.
I've interrupted you on the off chance that you're not
on
someone we know
on the off
intimately.
chance that you're not someone we know intimately. We're both actors, and I thought what's interesting about that is we can give you, other than
barely anything, but okay.
But we could probably give you an idea, and we'll probably have different experiences between the two of us of how like a movie set works, or how unglamorous it really is.
That's a big thing.
I thought it would be cool to kind of discuss that a little bit.
Also, I think this is where Harvey was sort of organically going to, was you were going to bring up my premiere at Leicester Square.
Yeah, that would be my next thing.
So
yeah, so you take the lead on that.
Yeah. And I just wanted you to, whilst the filming of stuff sometimes can be very unglamorous and a lot of waiting around, the film premiere is exactly what you want it to be. That's kind of it. It's
is that it?
Oh, it's world class.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's.
You just literally just saying that just so you know. They need
it's
to know.
important for them to
people
know that
have requested.
Whilst I had no right being anywhere near that premiere, right, for how much I was in the film, right.
Yeah.
And you could argue any self-respecting actor who had that small, but the thing is. I have a friend. We have a friend called Ozzy. Hi Ozzy, if you're watching. He's not. He's too cool.
There's
for
no
this.
way.
There's
no way.
He's a cool dude. if he is, he's done a lot. He did a lot early in his career. Did a lot of film roles like I did in that one, where he's only in it a bit. And he was invited to the premieres, all of them, and he was like, "Nah, don't want to go."
That's far too
and
cool.
that is fucking cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I'd be there. Sucking at the teat of,
like me, like I was.
Of course. You
know what I mean? Posing
pathetically.
Yeah.
I'd probably rent a really, really ostentatious suit.
I
couldn't afford.
You know what? I didn't rent it. I bought the
you
bastard.
put down money like a man.
Bought the bastard. That put me into the red for a while.
Yeah, I have made some decisions.
Great quote. I was going broke, trying to pretend I wasn't.
Oh, I like that.
Oh yeah, at least I didn't come up with it. It's from a film or something.
That sounds good.
So that's sort of one topic.
Well, let's not move on immediately, because if we move on too fast, we're going to get people writing in and telephoning in and be like, we need to hear more about Matt's premiere. Let's focus on the important stuff. I don't want to hear about the nonsense about social issues or hard hitting political issues. No, we want to hear about Matt's experiences in the trenches, and it is like being at war, really.
Taking grenades.
Getting stuck in. Floating around a red carpet. Another mimosa, Mr. Bentley. Oh yes, please.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of that. All it is you sort of you call up the production, and I was like, is Steve there, Coogan? And they're like, no. This is not how this works. So I was like, I just assumed that because no. So no, I had to talk.
He is my mate, but we are mates now. Best mates, actually.
I know I do that joke quite a lot when I go, me and Coogan, we're good mates. The thing is, honestly, we did get along really well, and he is a very top bloke. And
yeah, you shook his hand, you winked, and you whispered to yourself, "Best friends."
No, every time we see each other, he's always like, "Oh, hello, mate. How are you?" He calls me mate, and he doesn't call other people mate. I can't say. Listen, it is a very it's.
The necklace caught my lens.
That'll fucking learn you for debasing my relationship with Mr. Coogan.
Sorry.
Steve. I don't call him Mr. Coogan. No one calls him Mr. Coogan. Call him Steve.
Bro.
Don't call him bro. And definitely not Steve. Like that the hard way.
Of course.
And all it is, you call them up and you go, I hear there's going to be a premiere, and they go, who's this? And I go, heard there's going to be a premiere. When can I get down there? They're like, seriously, who is this? And I'm going, it's Matt Bentley. And they go, what? Who is this?
Yeah.
Send a photo. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, look, let's put a pin in that conversation right now, because if we don't, we're going to get people writing in and telephoning in and being like,
I was sliding away with it.
Yeah, we tuned in to listen to a certain element of Matt's experience on the carpet, but any more than 2 or 3 minutes, we're not interested in any of that. It's boring now. We've learned everything there is to learn about the red carpet experience. Let's talk more about mental health issues.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
He doesn't like that. Thing is, we will touch on that subject, obviously, because
so boring.
It is boring, but it's it affects a lot of people.
So boring.
It affects us definitely, but
yeah, of course.
But let's have fun, yeah. Let's have fun with it. So let's introduce maybe.
Do you know what? If I'm like when I'm having my down days, weeks, and there's a lot of them, the last thing that I want to watch
is two entitled pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Talking about their experience.
Clearly, just having they happen to be having quite a good day.
Sure.
I mean, look, those same fucking idiots a day later could just be like down a dump. So why am I going to take your advice? Why would you take my advice on anything to do with mental health? I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm all over the shop, mate.
I don't think we should be giving advice, though.
What I will do,
just as a caveat, I don't think we should be giving advice, but there is an argument to be made.
I will plug something. And this is
a free promo.
This is free promo
is
for
it?
now.
All right.
I don't know if you can see this.
If you do want to attach any of your products to this podcast, they can't because I've adjusted the focus. You can't. You see what I mean? It won't autofocus.
Zoom in on it. So about
look, I'll tell you what. If you're watching this on a laptop, I imagine you are. Just hit the space button, blow it up. You'll get the.
Well, let me just tell them what it is. It's CBD oil, and it is wicked.
Oh right, is that it?
Yeah.
No, I think there's an argument to be made for like normalizing mental health issues, because we all, like anyone watching it that thinks
that's what I'm trying to say. Listen, I'm in pieces so often. Do you know how often like we'll organise to do something like this, like write some genius comedy or something, and he'll just be like, "You're good for tomorrow, mate," and I'll be like, "Absolutely not, mate. I'm in pieces. I can't get out of bed." And he'll be like, "That's fine. That's cool. No worries." That happens to me way more than it happens to you. Harvey will tell me he's been depressed after the event, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
you're more likely to do that. So like a month later, 2 weeks later, you'd be like, "Mate, I was in Shards last week."
I'm guilty of kind of shutting down.
Yeah, you don't tell people, whereas I am like,
which is bad.
Oi, listen, come here, you. Did you know I'm feeling really sad?
Yeah,
and they're going, "I don't give a fuck, mate. Get off the bus." Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't get the bus. I don't get the bus. I get the tube, if anything. It's just quicker. I don't know why people get the bus. Listen, the fact is, if everyone is fucking depressed.
Oh, how much time do we have for until our prearranged?
1 minute 48 seconds until the 15-minute mark, and then we have 5 on top of that to sort of wrap it up in a very condensed, sort of neat way.
Lovely.
Not that this hasn't been condensed and neat. This has been.
We've got prearranged commercial break.
Yep.
It will be another advertisement. Probably Mercedes again. They've not got in touch in a matter of speaking. I mean, they have got in touch, obviously, because we speak to them on a daily basis. But they've not made an official approach to the we don't know what to call this podcast. Or actually, I guess that is the title of it.
This is the merch we're talking about. Yeah.
They've not reached out. We do. I know a lot of you out there that don't know us. I imagine there's going to be thousands eventually. I say eventually, pretty quickly. A lot of you don't know that we've got a loose affiliation with Mercedes. All right, I mean, sue me. Don't actually sue me. If you are Mercedes-Benz.
I do the.
Well, no, let's not.
No,
let's not.
For their electric cars.
Let's just leave it ambiguous.
No.
There's going to be a Mercedes ad, probably. An ad, right, in between the session.
All it is I go to often Stuttgart or Bremen, and I talk to experts at Mercedes-Benz about their new EQ range, and sort of ask them questions about how it's efficient and stuff like that. And I've been doing that for about a year now.
People are tapping out at this point, surely.
If they've made it this far, then this is.
Look, if you've made it this far, there will be some jewels in the second half of this experiment.
Oh, steady on, we've got a second. Now we have 5 minutes to wrap up. So
5 minutes to wrap up.
I'll let you sort of do what. Say what you want.
You want me to wrap up?
I don't care.
You may have noticed this is very unstructured.
Or it's incredibly structured, and we are following a very tight script.
Do you know what I mean? We could have.
And we're hitting every single beat perfectly.
You will never know. You'll never know. But just drink that in.
In the second half, I sort of want to talk to you about the concept that I say to a lot of people. So I'm a tennis coach when I'm not acting, and I have a lot of like 17, 16-year-old clients who are like freaking out about life or whatever. And I try to tell them like no one knows what they're doing.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Second half.
No one has a clue what they're doing.
It's a setup.
With a promise of comedy and intrigue.
That's exactly.
Tell your friends.
Seriously, share this amongst people because it's important stuff.
What do they normally say on YouTube? They say click subscribe and they click up here.
I'm not bothering to edit that.
Okay.
I reserve the right to not bother to edit that in. How do you do that on YouTube?
I don't know.
I don't even know how to use YouTube.
I didn't know. No.
Like when I uploaded the video, I had to process for ages. Tedious.
I didn't know I used Face ID for everything, so I didn't know my password to my Gmail account. I still don't.
That's mad. All right, commercial break.
That's crisp. Did you enjoy it? Does it make you want to buy the product?
That's the key question. The more astute viewers out there, and I'm sure there are a few of you, will notice that I have taken off my hat and yet retained the glasses. Perhaps there's significance in that. What is the significance in that? Stay tuned. We wanted to talk about kind of coming to stuff late.
That's what he's a weird guy, Harvey.
What do you mean?
The hat that whole little bit. To me, that's
well,
brilliant.
I'm just fucking with him. I just want him to think. I'm sowing seeds that will bear fruit in the future.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they won't. Or maybe they will, but you won't even notice that it's related. But trust me, I'm taking you on this ride. You're part of the ride.
It's like the third, fourth time you watch Dodgeball. You see new things. Watch Dodgeball again, and when he puts the cigarette out, right, he puts it butt end down. He puts the cigarette and exactly.
Okay, again,
right.
So people will be watching this multiple times, I imagine.
I said. I'll watch it many times. What were we going to talk about?
We were going to talk about the concept of no one really knows what they're doing.
Ah, yes, everyone's winging it.
Yeah, from my perspective, and you tell me what you meant by that, but I'm assuming you meant when you're a kid and you get told what to do, and there's actual government leaders, and there's leaders of, like, even in your household, it's like your parents are adults and they definitely are in charge, you know what to do. And then I got to like my dad's age when he had me, and I was like, oh shit, he had no clue what he was doing. He couldn't have.
Yes, that's what
he couldn't have.
That's exactly what I'm trying to allude to. Yeah.
No one knows. We're just all idiots floating on a rock through space.
That's it, but I think
no one has the answers.
Yeah, like the main, like the parent one is the big one for me. There's a few big ones, but like the idea that my mum and dad were fucking terrified, and I have two friends now who are together, and they have two kids, and they're my age, right? Now, I used to think like, and they have kids and they're my age. That's fucking normal. Like, I'm almost really 30. Normal, do you know what I mean? Like that's fine for the generation below us. What the fuck is that's normal?
Yeah, that's crazy.
But like, and I love those two, but they don't know what they're doing. They're just making it up. They're doing a great job of it, but they're making it up, and like, and it made me think like my parents were definitely just making it up, and definitely had mental health problems. And
they just weren't thought of as mental health issues.
It was such a fucking prick to them. They don't know what it was like to have a 15-year-old son. They have no idea. They did not know, but I was like, whatever they're saying is just gospel.
Yeah, it's the first time for every parent, though, isn't it?
That's
it's like,
what I'm
even
saying.
though it's been done for thousands, if not millions of years.
Yeah.
Every time that you have a kid, it's like, oh fuck, I've never done this before.
And then like when I remember even going on to like a film set, or I just had a very warped view of how things were done. I was like, surely someone just sort of takes care of this, and I was like, no. Like I
was surprised how unorganized a professional film set was.
Yeah.
And in terms of like, I remember the first big job I did. I turned up for filming the first day, and because they were behind schedule, I didn't film anything that day. They were like, okay, just go back to the hotel.
Yeah.
It's like, but you're paying me
for
a lot of money for the first day.
Who's in charge?
Like, yeah, how have you not got this right? And I guess I've since learned that, things happen on a set. Like, there could be a technical issue, that the lighting can be right. They could have the client on set who disagrees with what the director's doing, even though they've already arranged the job, and you know who you are.
The clients are bastards most of the time.
Yeah.
Teachers. I have friends who are teachers. They are literal and quite high up teachers, because they're almost 30. Like, I'm at my school employed, like, and you know what? They won't be watching, but if they do watch, fuck you lot, because you didn't know what you would do. They were 23 years old, right, out of Cambridge and Oxford, who are very, very bright people, but don't have any social skills whatsoever, and quite rightly, and I have no regrets, we tore them apart, because they have no idea. But I now think to like a friend of mine is head of history at his school.
That's kind of crazy,
He's
isn't
head
it?
of fucking history. Like, what the fuck?
I think the lines between child, young person, and grown up have been quite blurred in the past 20 years.
Yeah, like the difference between a fucking 22-year-old and a 29-year-old is ridiculous, and no one warns you.
But
for
the
that.
difference between a 30-year-old and 20, whatever year we're in again, and like 1940 is just they're a different species,
dude. Well, even like in football, Jose Mourinho said when John Terry and Frank Lampard were 25, they were men. Now a 25-year-old footballer is a boy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's if you think about it, like, I remember thinking, like, fucking Roy Keane is a fucking hard nut.
Yeah.
He was 25, 6 years old when he was captaining United.
That's kind of crazy.
Beckham was like.
He's a kid,
but he was the leader of the fucking country.
But also when
he was 27.
When Beckham was playing for England, though, we would have been kids.
Yeah, of course.
So obviously,
10 years old.
Obviously we've got that perspective at the time. But
True. But even if I look back at footage now of him.
Yeah.
As I'm older than he was when he was captaining England, and I'm like,
I think something that would be quite useful to our audience.
I keep forgetting.
It's just to discuss a little bit about, and it ties into what we're talking about in terms of age and it's so cliche to say it's just a number. But what I mean by that is I feel that it can be preventative, like particularly if you've been doing something you don't necessarily enjoy, or you don't career-wise you think, oh, it's too late to change careers now. It's too late to do anything. I mean, it's something that I've experienced firsthand, in that I became an actor when I was 28, which is fucking mental if you think about it. So I'd worked in kind of in the corporate world up until that point, in various kind of sales and marketing jobs in technology, which is. It is what I did. I kind of fell into it. I was one of those people that didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was just kind of falling from place to place out of convenience.
You were fucked up by being very bright and people like you. So by that definition, you were able just to fall into jobs.
And to be honest, a little bit lazy in that. In that I wasn't really taking my life in my own hands. I was just kind of letting other people make decisions for me, and being completely honest, got really into like girls and stuff like that from like college age. And I've talked about this before. I was a goth up until probably about 16, 17 when I got into like skating and a bit like the alternative stuff still, but a bit cooler. And at that time there was a little scene developing, the emo scene, kind of just right after the like new metal grunge scene.
The Rasmus.
No. No. We have a very different taste in music. But anyway, so there was that little thing. So I just got into like girls and stuff. So I just kind of made decisions based on that. And I met a girl, my first ever proper girlfriend, and she'd got a job in London in the city, and I was like just super influenced by that. And she's, if she's watching, she's not. She's really lovely. But we were just kids. We were kids, and I was like 18, started working in London, and that just sort of just ballooned into anything. But then I made the decision at 28, because I'd just been to LA on like a buddy's holiday, and I got back, and it was the morning. I was working for a German company the morning of the referendum, and it just kind of hit me. This isn't it. I was living with a guy a guy called Chris. If you're watching, Chris, shout out. Free promo.
Let's just assume.
Do get in touch.
Let's just assume none of them are.
No,
Every time we do,
not.
Let's just assume
they're definitely not. They never got this far. We'd worked for the same company, and I'd been working from home on a Thursday. And when I say working from home, I'd just been smoking weed and watching Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I was in a really good mood. And he came in from work, and he just had his head in his hands, and looked at me, and I could just tell he was in a bad mood. And he just went, "What are we doing with our lives, man? We're gonna get to 40 and be like software consultants. Like, what the fuck?"
Ooh.
And I was like, not now, man, chill. And then, that just catalyzed into like,
it's like he did Inception on
you. Yeah, me quit my job. Had no fucking clue what I was gonna do. I was like, either I get another job and go back into my bullshit, or I take a bit of a bold decision.
But bro, you moved home and everything.
But yeah, dude, this is the thing. I'm so fucking lucky that I was able.
Yeah, man.
I was able to have. Everyone's like, "Oh, you made such a brave decision." No. I was able to do it. Yeah. There's so many people that are in a situation where they're not able to do it. But the limiting factor should never be, "I'm too old," because you're not.
Yeah,
if you have the ability to do it, I think you should absolutely do it. And it was fucking terrifying. I lived at home for like a year, 2 years.
Pride is also the biggest issue. Pride. People don't think they have pride until it comes down to the nitty gritty. And it's like,
for sure,
if you are someone who likes, you know what I'm saying. Like I feel like,
but that's
you got to be able to accept. You got to stop living here and start living down here.
So that's another issue. So you have to like rework your life and rework priorities. But then the thing that I found from quitting that job to do acting, or to do a creative role or whatever, I found that time slowed down. Like the past 4 years have gone way slower than like the 8 years I spent working, which is crazy because every day is different. I was doing something different every day as an actor. Like I'd go to class, or I'd go to auditions, or I'd just sit at home, do nothing, and feel a bit like. But even that is better than just Monday to Friday doing a job you don't really like, you're not really interested in, just to pay the bills, because you're living for the weekend. You're just like, wait for next weekend, and then life just goes past.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think that the value in it is obviously doing something you love, but also just slowing down time and taking stock of what you're doing. And like, that's not to say, and like to tie it into the pride thing, that's not to say that there's anything wrong with doing something that you can tolerate. I mean, I'm doing it now. Like, obviously, because of the whole the state of the world, acting kind of had to be shelved for like best part of 6 months. So luckily, I was able to get a work from home job to supplement my income. And I know there's a lot of actors that are doing that at the moment. One of my good friends, Anna, has just got a full-time job working from home. Anna, shout out. You will be watching this. No, she will, because I'll make a note of sending it to you, and there will be a test at the end of it, just to make sure, just so I'm aware that you've taken notes. But she's taken a full-time job, but it doesn't make her less of an actor. It just means that's the thing. Pride does get in the way. Yeah, is my point. You zoned out so like early into that conversation.
It's because. People say that listen, if I've heard it before, it's interesting.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah, that's what I'm addressing them.
Yeah, cool.
I'm not. It's not for your benefit.
Okay.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine if this is just like Bentley's homeschooling on camera. All right, have you made notes? Fucking hell.
And actually, on the flip side, there was a time. I know it's hard to believe that I wasn't a extremely successful creative actor, world beater. There was a time at around sort of 25, 26 when it just wasn't working out for me. And I'd signed to a very, very big agent, and then we parted ways mutually.
It's key.
We had both chosen to go our separate ways, and I can't stress that enough. That's not even a joke. I really want people to know that.
Let the record show.
We decided to mutually go our separate ways. And but I thought my career was over because of it, which kind of implies that it was kind of a bit more them. Whatever, I'm over it.
You've caught me out to some extent.
Yeah, I've caught myself out. No one's talking to me. I'm talking to myself. And I was like, right, I'm done with acting. I'm done with the creative. It's too difficult. It's too hard. I don't love it anymore. I feel like I am pissing my life away. I'm going to wake up at 40 and I'm going to have nothing. And I want to be able to eventually support my girlfriend, my partner. I want to be able to live in a nice place and do nice things. And
you've achieved quite a bit of that.
Yeah. Now it's all worked out.
Yeah. Also, again, we need money so I can afford this splendor, right? We're not doing this for free. Like, I need bread.
I thought it wasn't going to work out, and I thought I'll get a different job and I'll go and do. I was like, I can sell stuff. I can do this. I can do that. And I'm really, really. But this is exactly one thing. I was like, it's too late to go and get a proper job. I'm not. I don't know even where to begin.
Look, the reality is you probably could, but it's on an individual basis. I think that you would kill yourself, and beat yourself up, if you weren't able to create, or be an actor, or if you weren't able to channel that into something. If you were literally, let's say, there's nothing wrong with you're a tennis coach. How long we got?
I may have not touched the timer.
Oh, that's a nightmare. Well, look, we'll get a notification. Actually, it may just cut off. I say it's about 16 minutes.
In a way, sort of very Sopranos, just sort of cut to black.
Do you know what? In at risk of that happening, let's call it there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's call it there. Just to wrap up that conversation, it's not too late. Pursue your dreams. Stay out my fucking way.